I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III, and I'm the only one that can do it. I will prevent World War III. And if I don't win this election, Israel, with Comrade Kamala Harris at the helm of the United States, is doomed. Israel is doomed.
One thing I want to caution against, Sean, is exactly what happened in June. What I expect is that Donald Trump will once again run circles around Kamala Harris, just as he did with Joe Biden in that last debate. The question is that going to be good for us in winning this election or not? Because last time around, it was the catalyst for something drastic happening afterwards, which is in that case swapping out Joe Biden as the nominee. And I think if Kamala Harris really does tank in this debate, and I think there's a decent chance that happens, I think there are strange things that could happen between now and November, because the Democrats, they have been playing this as, in some ways, one step ahead.
You're suggesting that we may live through another change in candidates if she didn't have a good debate?
No, I don't think it's going to be a change in the candidates. The ballots have already been printed, but I do think that we have a machine that we're up against that has demonstrated that it is going to go to great measures to defeat Donald Trump. You trace this back over the last year and a half. You've got prosecutions. You've got civil cases. You've got extrajudicial attempts to remove him from the ballot. They told us Joe Biden was definitively going to be the nominee, then negotiated for the earliest ever presidential debate in U.S. history because they knew there was a good chance Biden would underperform. Once he did, they swapped him out. I think we've got to learn from those lessons, Sean, to say that they're still going to have many more tricks up their sleeve. So the two scenarios are either Kamala Harris overperforms. I don't expect that to happen. Or what I do expect to happen is Donald Trump to seriously defeat her in this debate as he did last time around. But don't expect that to be the end of this election. I think there's going to be more tricks left up their sleeve.
Spending, that's important, and that remains quite solid. We're not seeing layoffs. We're seeing less frenzy in terms of hiring and job openings, but we're not seeing meaningful layoffs. Unemployment insurance claims remain at very low levels. So I'm attentive to downside risk now on the employment side, but what I think we're seeing and hope we will continue to see is a good, solid economy. I think the deficits need to be brought down to the point where the interest costs on the debt remain manageable, and they remain manageable over the long run. Overall, I would say for the U.S., the kinds of metrics that we would monitor that would summarize risks, whether it's asset valuations or the degree of leverage, things look good. I don't see red lights flashing.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. And I want to thank you all for helping me celebrate this wonderful birthday. Definitely had a great time. Thank you for the donations. Now we have Trump saying that he's going to stop the drums of beating. And the way things look, he's exactly right. Because remember, guys, the drums of beating is all an illusion in order to bring in this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, Trump was the first one to say that we were going on a level playing field, and he wanted to devalue the dollar. And that's going to allow, we know, the emerging markets to rise, led by China. And over these last 4 years, anytime we hear the drums are beating, if you go and do research, you see the digital economy right behind it. Everywhere where the drums are beating, you see artificial intelligence, robots, algorithms, and drones. And guys, we know they want them to run the economy while the sheep sit at home. And we have Trump's sentencing date extended. But we also have the debate this week, and we know it's going to be entertaining. No one, and I mean no one, can out-talk Trump when it comes to a live debate. Nobody can touch him, not even in history, because we know he always says something hilarious. Now, when it comes to a speech, we know Obama and Clinton are the best at that. But when you're talking about live debate, Trump is unstoppable. If you go and look at Obama and Clinton when they're live, they're stuttering all over the place. Trump is a natural, and he has Representative Gabbard is going to help him out. And we know the last time Gabbard and Harris debated, Gabbard destroyed her. So we know Trump is going to have plenty of ammunition. And then we have Janet Yellen repeating 2022. The economy is doing wonderful. No red flags. When we're seeing all the red flags and we know the economy is tanking. Remember, we've seen this movie before. And we have Jerome Powell in the House next week. No, he's going to be cutting rates, but we still have inflation here. And the damage is already done to the legacy economy. So while the Fed is actually lowering rates along with the major central banks, we have the emerging markets now are going to be raising rates. So you're going to have a lot of money flowing over to the emerging markets. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And the reason why is for the fourth industrial revolution. We see all sectors are going to be turned upside down over these next 3 years. And healthcare is a big one. And if you've been with me from the beginning, Ben Goertzel stated out his own mouth that Bill Gates and Microsoft were spending big money in the healthcare sector. And we know all the machines that are ready for the healthcare sector. And when Andrew Yang ran for president, he told us all the jobs that were going to be automated. And this year we had Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tell us the truth. Unfortunately, the sheep don't want to hear the truth. But you know, the crypto teacher gives you the truth, none but the truth. Yes, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Healthcare in the future, are you investing in AI?
We have made some early collaborations whereby we're hoping to develop, there's two or three ways where AI could play a role. One is predicting, for example, the new mutant variant strains, whether it's for flu, whether it's for COVID, whatever else. Imagine instead of chasing, you can predict it. And therefore, you'd be able to have a vaccine or a medication ahead of time.
Ahead of the curve.
Yeah. The other area is, of course, to bring down the cost and time for clinical trials. Now, this is huge. Imagine a pharmaceutical company spending $2 or $3 billion, and that becomes a fraction of the cost. And time, instead of 6-7 years of trying different combinations, what works, what doesn't work. If AI can do that on a quantum computer or on a quantum scale or whatever, instead of doing it in humans, you're going to see a complete transformation in leapfrogging in the pharmaceutical and vaccine industry. Of course, we're probably 5 or 10 years away from that. Having said that, the only challenge there is that getting a regulator of a country to approve and agree that your AI model and this stuff you've done on the computer that you've predicted is working, but proving that somehow in a human model, animal model, that it's safe and it's working, instead of doing the actual human trials itself. Now, I don't know how that's going to work, but unless regulators agree and approve that process, you can't really end up using the AI tools that we have today. So that itself will be the only challenge. So probably, I don't know, the US FDA or the EMEA, someone like that would have to take the lead in that, and then other country regulators may adopt those kind of standards. So there'll have to be some sort of AI regulated standard that everyone will have.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.